Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of New to Weeaboo. This is number 110 for November 15th, 2023. I am Nemesis and I am joined by Alcatraz.
Hello.
Yeah, it is, the new fall season's underway. Halloween is behind us now, unfortunately.
Yes.
All that stuff. We do have a couple things we noticed over the last couple weeks that popped up. Let's see, apparently there's a Terminator anime coming, so that's another Western property being turned into an anime. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah.
At this point, the Terminator's franchise's track record is not good.
You can't mar its name much further at this point.
Oh,
so.
You have no idea how deep you can go on that. Apparently, the Paprika movie is just available on YouTube right now.
Yep. I
Just
think there's a couple
legally.
regional restrictions, like
UK
UK or whatnot.
UK, one other place, I don't remember which was. That's another thing that popped up. Oh, one that's interesting. Zom 100. If you notice, that kind of stopped.
I've been busy. I haven't noticed much of
The last
anything.
3 episodes just didn't air. And apparently, production issues, as you know, because we saw as they kept getting delayed. All the last 3 episodes will be airing on December 25th.
No, it's a Christmas miracle.
Yeah, they're all be popping out. The last 3 episodes will come out on December 25th. So yeah, things just went wrong. It's been a bad production apparently. Something, I'm not sure exactly. Someone will have to tell all at some point.
Interesting. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
So the last 3 episodes of that will be coming out in December. Because people noticed it just kind of stopped airing, and then all of a sudden, other anime took its place in the slot. And it's like,
Ruh-roh. That's never a good sign.
There have been anime that just didn't actually finish because production issues.
Yeah,
I think one point I remember reading a story about the studio went bankrupt in the middle of production.
Oof, that's not great.
Yeah, that sort of thing. So it's going to be finished at least. The other thing is, just generally, I've been keeping up mostly with the stuff I have been. The other stuff I wanted to, I haven't been able to because I've been busy trying to. Well, I accidentally got myself an Amazon Prime free subscription, one of those.
Accidentally.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it's like I just when I was ordering something, I accidentally clicked the free just free shipping and automatically credit my account with you get Amazon Prime now.
That what do they call that design thing to try and trick you into doing things like that?
It was like I'm just like trying to scroll, accidentally tap the free shipping, and then it just says, "Oh, okay, cool, you get a free month of Amazon Prime." Like, okay, I guess I'll take advantage of it.
Yeah.
So I've actually been watching Invincible.
Yeah, I haven't been watching much of anything. I've been really busy this last week or two. So,
but beyond that, the anime, it was I'm still keeping up Spy Family. Oh, that's one of the things I want to mention was I complained when 100 Girlfriends. We complained about it was still kind of falling into a lot of the harem tropes and whatnot,
right.
Including the first 2 girls were like constantly still trying to fight with each other.
Yeah.
Episode 4 actually addresses that.
Awesome. I'm gonna have to actually watch those.
It like straight up addresses that, and they're a lot friendlier with each other and everything. So that's actually a really good thing.
Yeah, because like we see that in the OP, they're all like the little chibi versions of them are all hanging out together. But that's OP, so it's like.
Well, it's the ED actually, but
the ED.
I've been keeping up with of course I'm in love with the villainous. All that stuff. But we're not here to talk about those anime things. We were talking about a different anime thing, which as we said last time,
something old, something
new.
new.
Rebuild of Evangelion 1.11 is the version we watched. Yes, we watched that the first of the 4 movies. We watched, they got the 1.11 version because that's the one I have.
1.11. Patch notes.
Yeah.
Patch notes on movies.
You are not alone.
Yeah.
And that's the one we watched because that's the one I have. I have the later release because that's what available on Blu-ray in the US.
Yeah, that's what came out in 2009, so it's not like it's just come out.
Yeah, it's an older one. It originally came out in 2007. Then they kept changing little things here and there, and then they had the latest version, I guess, as of that point. But this is gonna be weird because I wasn't sure exactly what to expect because we watched Evangelion way back when for the podcast. We
Way
talked about
back.
it, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure, like, I kind of looked at a couple things. I think we got several things actually just factually wrong,
Oh, it's likely. We've probably done that many times.
but like, in part because the whole I was told things that weren't actually true.
right?
Someone went on the internet and actually told lies.
People
what a
actually
fucking-
do that?
Yes. But yeah, so it's it's the Evangelion. You got Shinji Ikari, again the robot. He's a depressed 14-year-old kid. Dad doesn't love him. He just wants his father's approval, all that stuff. You got Misato Katsuragi, just another fail wife, who also is actually not so much of a failure. Well, in her professional life anyway, in her private life, oh yeah, no. She's another mess.
Oh yeah. She's an absolute failure at home.
Rei Ayanami, yeah, I got her, bit different this time, still fairly, just emotionless for a large chunk of time, quiet, stoic.
Yep.
But also a little, that's the thing about it, is I'm trying to figure out how we talk about, because a lot of this is like, we've seen this.
Yeah.
That this is just a prettier version of it with a bigger budget, right? Because at this
Mhm.
point, Evangelion was at was a big deal. This was literally a decade after the original anime, right?
Right.
So like bigger budget. And so yeah, you get Shinji shows up in Neo Tokyo 3. The angel attacks, he gets in the robot, all that stuff, and then he has his whole thing of like his whole depressive spiral.
Just continuing it and making it worse. Just bringing it up to because that's like he's probably been in a huge depressive spiral the whole time, but he's always kind of sat on the outskirts of it, just running away, never facing
Yeah.
it. Now suddenly he has to face it.
Yeah, he has to face all this stuff. I'm trying to think. Comparisons to the original, that's gonna be a little difficult. It's been a bit since we watched the original anime, so it's like
That was August of 2019.
exactly. It's been a bit. It's
Yeah.
been a minute, but I do remember. There is some stuff. It's like they definitely did things somewhat differently or significantly differently in some cases. I know, like for example, they one thing they definitely fleshed out some of the I guess workings of a lot of the world, like the way the city itself. Particularly, they kind of fleshed that. They kind of showed that off better. I don't want to say explain per se, but they definitely showed how it worked a little better versus the original anime was a little more like what's actually happening here.
Right.
And like, so it's not like it's like they didn't like waste time just explaining it. It's just kind of like, okay, they showed how it works in a way that's like, okay, it's actually a really cool sequence, seeing the city, retract and or go back up or whatever, and like, okay, I get it better. It's a better representation of how before.
It's not just buildings that slide. It shows a little bit more of the. I like the. I do. That is actually one thing. I do really like the horizontal bolt system that locks things in place. It actually looks.
Explosive bolts.
Well, not just explosive bolts. The fact that they have, you see those big bolts that go in to hold it in place, and it's actually scaled within reasonable sizes. So it's not like going, oh yeah, that's just anime magic. It's like, well, obviously it is because it's massive, but like it's massive enough that it looks like it would actually hold a building.
Yeah.
So it's easier for suspension of disbelief in those things.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely changed some things. Like, I know, like here, Shinji's like straight up in the middle of things, like at the beginning when Misato picks him up. That was different, a bit different. It definitely changed the order of a little bit. That's one thing I know, is they did change the order of some things a little bit.
Yeah, it's been so long, I can't remember.
I'm not sure of the exacts, but like the Lilith, it shows up way earlier.
Yeah,
here.
that was a big one. Lilith shows up before the defeat of Ramiel.
Yeah, that's one big thing.
Although it also feels like the pacing is going quicker.
Kind of. It's weird.
It feels...
it's not so much... I don't think it's really quicker. I think they just adjusted it. Like, some stuff goes faster, some stuff goes slower, because they adjusted the priorities of what the story they're telling.
Right. Because again, it's been 4 years since I've watched the original, but it feels like Ramiel took longer to show up, too, than it did.
Too. Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Which I'm not complaining too much, because I think
I'm trying to
Ramiel's one of my
remember who
favorites.
showed up first in the original, Asuka or Ramiel?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Because they mentioned her in this one, but she doesn't appear in this movie.
Yeah, because Asuka doesn't really show up, at least in the original. Her first real appearance was on the boats.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were shipping them over, and then they find the angel in the water, I believe, or something like that. It's been 4 years. I think most of the changes, though, are gonna happen in the next movie.
Because this movie definitely ended with hey, what? That's different.
Like an entirely new character.
Well,
2 for 1, showing that up in the upcoming.
Yeah, we know she's coming.
Yeah, we know she's coming.
I've seen pictures of her, so I was like, yeah, I know she exists. I just
I don't remember her name, and I don't know anything else about her, but I've seen pictures of her, and they showed her at the very end of the coming in the next movie.
Yeah, they had a little preview of this, but yeah, I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about like the actual like ending before the preview thing. Like,
with Kaoru.
Yeah, Kaoru just kind of like
they show Kaoru.
That's
talking
different.
That is very different. If I remember correctly, Kaoru just kind of appears. Sort of,
it's just kind of like, oh yeah, he's another person. He's going to be a pilot. Actually, oh whoops, he's an angel.
Oh whoopsie, pattern's blue. God, I'm trying to remember all of the angels from the original one.
Yeah,
because they have to kill 8.
Yep.
And the first one we see is the 3rd.
Yes, which was the one that they fought in the first episode in the original series. You know, again, that's one thing. Also, I'm not sure if I remember remarking on it, but if I did, oh well, I'm going to say it again anyway. But it's the thing is, like, you know, I think one of the things we talked about was like it was kind of different from a lot of mecha, and it really actually isn't as different as I thought it was led to believe. When I'm watching more mecha stuff, like, oh, actually, no, a lot of mecha were already doing this sort of thing. This one just kind of honed it a little bit. And one thing they did for that first fight was, you know, he stumbles, and then he just kind of collapses. Like, that's it.
Yep.
It's over. And like, a lot of them, you know, a lot of mecha anime would have the whole, you know, the rally, the hot-blooded or whatever have you, just, you know, get back up and win the day. And it's like, no, the mecha did it.
Yep.
That was mecha, quote unquote.
Yeah, that is one big difference that I think Evangelion did.
Shinji didn't really actually do much in the original other than get in the robot and then just kind of collapse.
Yep.
And then the robot the Eva unit took all over right there.
Mm-hmm. Went berserk.
Yeah, as they said. So I think there's definitely some of the sequences are a bit different. There's definitely a noticeable improvement of course, there's a huge improvement in like animation quality. It's, again, a decade extra plus also, you know, made for theaters and everything.
Yeah, improvements in technique and technology. Improvements in budget.
Yeah, because as it's well known, Evangelion had budget issues.
Although, if you really want to compare budget issue quality, we'll have to wait till the later half, because the show's budget was adequate in these parts, and then it really fell apart.
And yeah, there's also definitely the thing of like, you know, it's like, oh yeah, like I know that design, I know that was like just like the original.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or there are some scenes that they like we were commenting, the scene with first scenes with Masato in her house with Shinji, the drinking beer scene.
Yeah,
like 1 to 1.
Yeah, they like just like we have to make sure that one's exactly the same.
Yep.
Just in widescreen now.
Just widescreen, a little less film grain type of artifacting.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Yeah, again, you know, Shinji has the problem. You know, his dad just does not care about him. Seems to care about more about Rei for some reason. That upsets him. But Rei, they again changed order of stuff. Like the scene where, you know, Shinji in Rei's apartment was a bit different timing wise. That changed that up a little bit. We also see Rei feels like she shows a bit more emotion than she did before in the original series, so that's, I think, an improvement.
Yeah, that's one thing that I've noticed. It's minor, but
it's there.
It's subtle. She has a little bit more expressiveness. She isn't quite so blank and stoic all the time.
I mean, maybe it's just also because this is like, it just assumes you saw Evangelion in the first place.
Right.
So like stuff's like, okay, you're able to just fill in the blanks a little easier, so they're able to, okay, let's do this stuff and whatnot. Like, yeah, the thing with Gendo's glasses, because, you know, when he saved her from when the plug thing happened, and like she's holding on to them, and like I remember that the priority was, because Shinji just kind of put them on, and like her priority was like, it wasn't Shinji's in the apartment, what you're doing here is, you know, get the glasses back, because that was her priority in her head, which is an interesting thing in itself. And of course, knowing what we know about Evangelion, it's like, does she have a crush on Gendo? Probably.
Yeah.
And everything. Does she possibly have then a crush on Shinji? Because, well, Shinji looks a lot like Gendo, just, young. Again, it's always been that thing of like, maybe. Because, again, the mom thing. And then there's also that, I think they added this scene, which is the whole, if we have a boy, we'll name him Shinji. If we have a girl, we'll name her Rei.
Right. And
that
then
whole
they
thing.
Like, except that when they said it originally, like, when they're going over the names, they're doing it they were semi-swapped. It
Rei Akari.
Yeah, it was Rei Akari, and then said no and swapped them Rei Ayanami.
Yeah,
And
that was a whole other thing. But largely, most of this movie is largely a retread of the first few episodes of Evangelion.
Yeah,
just with some improvements here and there. Some characters fleshed out a bit better. That's one thing. Misato there, we kind of get a little bit more into who she is a little bit. Compared to the anime, where it's like she's just some weird girl. She's just some weird adult woman.
Yeah.
Here we get a little more into, but again, in the same time frame, I should say.
Yeah.
Because the series over by the end, you kind of see just how broken Misato is as a person.
Yeah.
And here we kind of start seeing glimpses of it. She's not just some weirdo, messy weirdo, whatever. Like at this point, the original anime. So here we're seeing the signs of like she's already kind of a little messed up.
Yeah.
And like Ritsuko, the scientist woman, remember? She's talking to her like, don't. He tells her, and it's Misato. It's like, I'm not gonna do anything with him. It's like, this should be kind of obvious.
Shouldn't have to tell you.
But then she turns around and goes, kind of
implies when they're in the bar. Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah, but Misato was talking about the last time she lived with a guy was 8 years ago, because that was a thing that popped up in the anime. But this,
yeah, what's his face?
he didn't appear in this movie yet. He has not appeared.
Mr. Not appearing in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course you got the two classmates. They're a little different, not that much really, but I think.
Yeah, I don't think there's that much different.
Yeah, they came. They've heard. I think we got a little bit more like, okay, because I think if I recall correctly, and this might be my memory triggering me, they just kind of like, they're just friends because they're friends in the original anime. Here we have a little bit more, okay, we have a little bit better of an establishment there of how their relationship's going. Their friend, that whole thing, right? Like them meeting Shinji and all that stuff, it feels a little more natural.
Maybe, because I vaguely remember the same important pieces being there. The one dude punching Shinji because of that, and then them going out and almost getting crushed by.
Yeah, that stuff I remember, but like
that was all there, and having to go into the cockpit with him.
The later stuff, particularly when we got to the bit with the sniper rifle and all that
stuff.
Yeah,
and the recording. I can't remember if that was actually part of the original or not.
I don't remember it, but then again,
it may have been, but again, that was 4 years ago.
And that was also the other thing. It was the whole thing with the plan, the sniper rifle, everything. That was way more fleshed out than it was in the series.
Yeah, there was a lot more just details and just kind of drug it out a little bit more, but not in a bad way.
Yeah, really, really, because it's climax of the movie.
It is
essentially. So like that's the whole point. And like they're also talking about stuff like putting Rei in Unit 1 would be dangerous, and they don't get into why, but it's just because it's kind of maybe a little too similar. might have a bad time there if you do that.
Yep.
It's interesting because like there's that stuff like I remember like Rei slapping Shinji. Is like all he did was badmouth his dad, who absolutely deserves that and far more.
Right.
But that's because again she.
From Rei's perspective,
you just, what are you doing? You should be grateful. He's a great man. What are you talking about?
Yeah, from Rei's, yeah, and that's an interesting point. You have to realize that from Rei's perspective, Shinji's dad is a great person. So how dare you disrespect him?
Yeah, he saved her life, so of course.
And he's always nice to her.
Versus him, it was like my dad literally abandoned me and then just showed up and just says, "I need you to do this thing." And
get in the robot and do the thing. I don't care if you die or not. Yeah.
It's like, gee, I wonder, again, therapy would work wonders with, like, everyone here.
Yeah, God. I mean, part of it is, You're literally at war with mythical beings.
But considering they also
Everyone's kind of screwed up in the head. You're in the middle of war. But also, there's not enough therapists to go around.
I don't know, at least prioritize the one you're sending out to fight the mythical beings.
The ones you depend on to live.
You might want to give them priority in the
Since when did any military actually prioritize therapy for their soldiers, though?
Are they even military? As I recall, Nerv's not actually military.
They're attached to it. It's just like a weird experimental.
Yeah, there's a whole thing.
It's a separate.
Oh yeah. Once again, we saw Sealy. That whole the pillars.
Oh yeah, Sealy.
And then also think one of them talked to Cairo. Cairo was like, because he's like in a box.
It looked like there's a whole series of almost like little train cars.
Because it looked to me as like that's like this is where the angels come from.
Yeah.
And he just popped out, and then Sealy's there. And it's like
they always have their hands in things.
Yeah, and then it's like he's just, and that's the one thing is like that's the interesting part. He's talking about the third child again. That's the big important part is again, like we've been here before. And he knows we've been here before, which is interesting. And this is where, is this where the confusion comes in? Is like, what is Rebuild?
Yeah.
Is it a sequel or what? And the answer is it a sequel or remake? And the answer is yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because I see a lot of places do list these movies as a sequel to End of Evangelion.
Yeah.
Which is like, huh. But this is a retread of the series.
Yeah,
so.
the first chunk of the series is being retreaded here, so that's the problem. Is like I wasn't expecting to be that actually almost, not 1-to-1, but that close.
Yeah.
I was like, oh crap, that means that's gonna make it difficult to talk about because we kind of already did it.
We already did this. It's just a difference. Hey, if they can do patch notes for a movie, we can just do diffs on a movie.
The other thing is also the music is actually pretty much the same style and everything. We got the same sort of music that we got in the original series. So like, oh cool, that's pretty neat. So there's that whole thing. I was half expecting "Fly Me to the Moon" in the credits, but no, we got different song.
Yeah, but that's good luck. The licensing around that one now. Yeah.
Well, this is an older Blu-ray release, so like it's possible still might have had it.
maybe, but no, alas. To do it ourselves, fan edits and whatnot.
Yeah, it's just kind of.
It's nice
more of the
see.
same, and yet, but I'm all right with that.
Yeah, it's for what it is. It's really good, and if you haven't seen the original Evangelion, I mean, sure, so far it seems like it's a good place to watch.
Well,
but I'm not so certain how that'll pan out later on.
I would almost say that I'd be worried about like saying, "Oh, watch this instead of the original series." I would not say that ever. I think at this point.
Yeah, well, because if this was the only one that's out, it might be easier. But also knowing that things are going to change, definitely wouldn't want to say that this would be a replacement.
The end of the movie makes it pretty clear that things are a bit different this time around.
Yeah, so it's definitely good to watch what this came from, so you know what's changing. But yeah, so far it seems pretty good. But I'm more interested to see what's coming after.
Yeah. Because this is like, okay, remember Evangelion? This is like, remember the Evangelion thing? Remember this is how it's like? Okay, we're also going to tweak things a bit.
Oh.
So it's not just a straight remake. So this is going to be interesting. Yeah, I think that's trying to think of what else to say, really.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how much they touched up on some of the things. I still think Ramiel's one of the best, although we've only seen 3 angels, not including Lilith, and there's a lot more.
I'm also wondering because I know in the series we had that one angel that had to have Asuka and Shinji do that perfect synchronization thing.
Well, I know that the next angel is the underwater one,
which is where,
well, at least it was,
and that
was right after Ramiel was the big like whale thing.
I was just thinking about that one because like I'm wondering if that's going to be a thing again because we know there is going to be different things are going to be different, so it's interesting how that's all going to play out from here on out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just blanking on anything specifically that's like yeah, this is different.
This one's, yeah.
I mean,
so far,
I mean, I guess there's actual real world branding in this one versus the original.
oh yeah, like Lawson showed up.
Doritos, Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Those are actual they
Actual
actually showed
brand
up.
names.
But yeah, and also Pen
Pen shows up.
But he also was reading a newspaper.
I thought he did that in the original too.
I don't know. I just remember the reading the newspaper.
Yeah.
Smart penguin.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that being a thing with Pen. It's like you're a penguin, but you're acting just like any other person.
Yeah. Also, the other thing with Shinji was he constantly was listening to that tape recorder.
Yeah, that was a thing in the original, and I forgot what was on it. I remember it was important, but I forgot what was on it. He just keeps listening to it.
He's still doing it. Oh yeah, of course. A good chunk of the world is flooded. Yeah, stuff like a ship just in the middle of the street, whatever. Just drive by it.
Yep,
that sort of thing.
The capacity for humans to just
adapt
to insanity around them.
Yeah, this is fine.
It's like all the civilians. They're just kind of used to it.
And the other thing, because I remember this is after second impact, and half of the humanity's been wiped out, and there's a third impact. Oh, we're done for. That's the big thing, and we have to prevent third impact. Kind of. But wait, actually, yes, we knew, but yeah. So it's weird. I'm trying to think. Like as the movie by itself, it's like it really is dependent on you watch the series, right? You watch the series, right? That's pretty much where it's at. It's like you watch the series, yeah, watch the movie. It's pretty cool. It's like it's a retread, but also like it's just cool kind of seeing a somewhat, I guess, quote unquote, better version of what we did the series in a sense. At least at this point. Again, I have heard things about the later movies as well on that front too, on the quality front. But it's kind of neat. But also that little thing at the end is like, that's a nice little tease for, hey, yeah, stick around. This is not going to be a 1-to-1 remake, guys. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Watch it, I guess.
I am definitely curious as to what comes later.
Actually, funny enough, because I brought it up earlier, I believe the Evangelion movies are exclusive to Amazon Prime for streaming. And the Blu-rays, good luck. They are out of print.
Yeah.
I have them, but yeah, the Blu-rays for the first 3 movies are out of print, and the 4th movie's available, though. Just came out recently. In fact, at least in the U.S. But anyway, I think that's it for this episode.
Yep.
Because it's going to be a short one because, yeah. If you enjoyed it, you can check out other episodes, new to weeaboo.libsyn.com, spelled Libsyn, if you want to, subscribe to the RSS feed or whatever. And if you want to subscribe via other methods, a lot of them are listed at the top of that website, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts for now, Spotify, YouTube. And there's also the Amazon podcast thingy, which is not there because Libsyn's breaking stuff, essentially. Yeah, you can search for New to Weeaboo and find us and subscribe to us via your podcast host of choice, I guess, so hopefully anyway, because there's some out there ones. You also contact us via email, newtoweeaboo@gmail.com, if you have questions or comments or recommendations or what have you for anime stuff. You can do that way, or you could also follow us on our various social media. You can find a listing of that at newtoweeaboo.libsyn.com/contact. There'll be a list there, because there's enough there. I'm not going to go through it all anymore. That's just a lot. You also find our personal stuff through those things. You'll find us pretty quickly. So that's it for this episode. Tune in next time, because, surprise, we'll be talking about the rebuild of Evangelion 2.22. The second one. Or, I guess, Evangelion Shin Movie Ha. So, yep, we're continuing this. Like I said, till the end of the year, we're going through the Evangelion movies.
Gonna get through them all,
so,
finally.
Yeah. Again, hope you enjoy your fall and everything, and I guess as we're going into the holiday season and everything.
Thanksgiving's coming up.
Thanksgiving. And
try not to kill your family.
all that stuff. So, see you later.
See ya.